Battle Cats is one of the biggest mobile games of all time. It definitely has been mine and many viewers' favorite game. But there are a couple of issues in the game that completely destroy the experience for new players. But if you aren't aware, this is the second episode in a 10-part series in which I will fix the entire game and discuss its biggest problem using your feedback. This is part 2, where we aim to turn Emperor of Cats into a more enjoyable chapter. Right before we start, I just want to say that this video was put in a ton of work into, and was only made possible because of the insane amount of support lately. And again, I promise we will build the biggest Battle Cats community to exist, and bring the game back to its prime. So make sure to subscribe to help me do so. I want to mention that this chapter will have a distinct theme of red enemies, especially later, which matches with the final boss of the chapter. There are 18 stages in total, each with plot behind them, unique gimmicks never seen before in EOC, and lots of threatening stages. Without further ado, let's get started. A couple of overall changes I went over in my first video were 1. Change each chapter into 18 stages instead of 48. I think we can all agree that's a better number to put out there, because 48 stages is much too long for its own good. I remade the treasure system and made the entire chapter require more strategy rather than just high levels and Ubers. I don't want to get too deep into what I changed, so let's get started with the changes of this video. Sahara brings a seemingly straightforward challenge with finite babas, but underestimating these enemies can lead to a disaster. As you progress and hit the base at 90% and 50% health, even stronger babas emerge, ramping up the difficulty unexpectedly. This stage demands constant vigilance and careful management of your resources, as the enemy stats are surprisingly high for this early point in the chapter. Completing Sahara unlocks Birdcat, an important unit that will prove invaluable in stages to come. Utilizing Birdcat's strength effectively can make a significant difference in the upcoming battles, particularly in stages where area attacks are crucial. Egypt presents a more formidable challenge than the stages before it. After 100 seconds, a massive stack of those guys begins spawning, and with the stage boasting over 300k HP, it's a more formidable opponent than anything you've ever encountered so far. The sheer number of enemies and the high HP of the stage can make it difficult to manage without a well-known outplan. You either rush the stage with a high damage unit and try to end it quickly, or you can prepare Birdcat and Cat Cannon to deal with the overwhelming stack of enemies. Each approach has its own benefits, and the decision comes down to your valuable resources and current state of your lineup. Turkey might appear to be a simple repeat of Madagascar, but with enemies at 50% higher magnification, it quickly becomes a more intense experience. Birdcat's attack proves invaluable at this stage, helping control the battlefield and prevent enemies from overwhelming your forces. Instead of difficulty demands more precise timing and better resource management, as the slightest misstep can lead to failure. Properly utilizing Birdcat's strength along with effective stalling tactics will be key to overcoming this challenge. Finally, we have Russia, which introduces the Kroko as a new peon enemy and features the strongest Jackie Bang encounter so far, with over 6,500 HP. The increased difficulty of this stage requires careful planning and execution to stall effectively, ensuring that your units chip away at Jackie's Bang health while maintaining a solid defense. The introduction to Kroko adds another layer of complexity to the battle, as you'll need to manage both frontline and backline simultaneously. This stage emphasizes the importance of multitasking and quick decision making, as even the brief flaps in concentration can spell disaster. Grease features an red enemy lineup, P serving as a peon and Sir Seal as the boss. The stage is designed to test your ability to handle red enemies effectively. And again, if you haven't watched a video about red enemies, you should, as Ninja and Axe get spent, forming the core of your strategy. Supporting them with Birdcat and Grosscat provides firepower needed to clear a stage effectively. However, if you can take 2 minutes to complete the stage, a second Sir Seal will spawn, significantly making the battle much more complicated. This introduces a time pressure element, forcing you to balance your power and your defense. Italy may resemble the Maldives stage, but a constant Kroko spam, presence of tougher enemies like gory Sir Seal set it apart. The relentless waves of Krokos require you to maintain a solid defense while chipping away at the stronger enemies. Surviving the early stages of this level is crucial, as it sets the tone for the rest of the battle. If you can weather the initial storm, you'll have a much easier time dealing with more challenging parts later on. The key to success in Italy is to keep a cool head and manage your resources carefully, as mentioned before, ensuring that you're prepared with whatever the stage has to throw at you. Monako serves as a test of your unit level and base cat strength. featuring a single Croco with 300% HP and 1300% attack magnification. Yes, you heard me right, 1300%. This stage is all about endurance and careful management. The Croco's high stats make it a formidable opponent, and without the right preparation, it can easily overwhelm your defenses. This stage forces you to assess the effectiveness of your lineup and make adjustments as needed. You won't just be able to go to this stage like you did with all the other ones and beat it easily. You will actually need to form a strategy before starting. Spain opts for a more traditional approach, with bosses appearing upon base hit. The combination of a 300% Hippo, 200% Jackie-Ping, and 200% Gory represent a significant challenge that requires well thought out strategy to manage effectively. The key to success in Spain is to focus on weakening the boss one at a time, preventing them from overwhelming your forces all at once. This stage emphasizes the importance of prioritization and resource allocation, as spreading your forces to him can lead to a swift defeat. France is a straightforward peon spam stage, with doges and pigeons forming a thick wall to stall your forces. While it may seem simple at first, the amount of enemies can make it difficult to maintain a solid defense. Area attackers may struggle in this stage, especially if the red seal appears, adding another level of difficulty to the battle. The key to success is in France, if you ever want to make it up, is to maintain a steady pace and not to get overwhelmed by seemingly endless waves of enemies. Patience and persistence are your best allies here. Germany introduces BB Bunny, spammed alongside P, to support a 800% Hippo. This stage is all about persistence, as the constant waves of enemies can easily wear down your defense if you're not careful. Managing your resources effectively and focusing on taking down Hippo as quick as possible is crucial to surviving the stage. The BB Bunny, rapid attacks, and Piggy's durability make for a tough combination requiring you to stay on your toes and adapt to the challenge. And Denimon marks the beginning of the end of introducing Leboin as a backliner enemy, and instead of making him easier like the other one, I actually made the stage a little bit more difficult. Without access to heavy hitters like Dragon or Titan at this point, managing this stage requires careful attention, again, to your lineup and strategy. You can make one mistake, and Leboin will kill all of your peons, making you absolutely crumble. Norway saves us a brief respite before the more intense challenges ahead. It's a simpler stage, with a strong 450% Gory showing up later in the battle. While it may not seem as challenging as some of the previous stages, it's important not to let your guard down, as this stage sets the tone for the upcoming battles. Leading Norway unlocks Fishcat, a crucial unit for upcoming stages. This stage is all about maintaining focus and ensuring you're prepared for the difficult challenges ahead. And now we get to the actual tough stages of this chapter. Starting off with United Kingdom. The stage ramps up the difficulty with a lineup of red enemies, Piggies, BB Bunnies, Sir Seal, and new One Horn. By now, your cat should be at level 10 or at least close to that, to handle the 100% magnification One Horn. And yes, you probably realized that I'm giving out less XP so that you won't be able to level up your cats as fast as possible, so that the battles will actually be more challenging. Fishcat at level 10 plays a crucial role in this stage, providing the necessary firework to take out the tougher enemies. The United Kingdom stage is a true test to your lineup strength and your ability to manage multiple threats at the same time. We move on to Greenland, the final stage. Well, not actually. It throws every enemy you've faced so far. And yeah, this is also similar to what I did in my previous video. We'll try to keep up this pattern even in chapter 3. With Leboin, Sir Seal, and One Horn as the biggest threats. While this stage is slightly easier than the United Kingdom, it's not a time to relax. The sheer variety of enemies forces you to adapt your strategy, ensuring that you're prepared for whatever the stage throws at. Greenland is a test of your overall strategy and resource management, as you'll need to make sure that you're prepared for the upcoming battles, the HQ Doge stage, which are the actual challenge if you thought this was hard. And finally, Doge HQ Floor 3. Doge HQ Floor 3 introduces 3 Leboins, creating a tough challenge that tests your ability to manage multiple threats at the same time, just like the previous stage. The support units in this stage are manageable, but the presence of 3 Leboins adds a level of difficulty that requires careful planning and execution. This stage tests your endurance and your ability to sustain your strategy over a longer period. And finally, for the final stage of Chapter 2, we have Doge HQ 4. It has a base magnification 9 men. With other red enemies you've met in your journey, Ninja and Wildcat will help you plenty in this long drawn out battle. I'll let the gameplay speak for itself here. You can see how difficult it actually is. One Horns, Sir Seals, you name it, and it comes straight away at you. To your left, Nothing to do but try to defend. The Cersil one-horned waves are finite and gives you lots of money to spare them. And once again, the key units here are Ninja and Will, so remember to bring them. You should have them unlocked by this point. And even both with the level 10 and some treasures, you might still have some struggle clearing this stage. And finally, if you still watch all the way until now, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to make the biggest Battle Cats empire, so make sure to subscribe.